Hello once again my friends and welcome to yet another PhilbertGreen painting video. As always, this isn't really a professional tutorial, but I hope it does help you if you are following along at home. Something sinister is lurking in the depths of Raccoon Park's pond, waiting for the chance to strike and swallow you whole. Yes, it's the Next to the City of Ruin expansion pack minis, the second variant of Hunters, the Gammas. The same as their counterparts in the previous video, we have two minis to paint, both in an identical pose. Just like my other videos, if you are following along at home, just take your time and go at a pace that you are comfortable with. As ever, we'll be starting off by basing them with Mechanicus Standard Grey. First up, I used Thousand Suns Blue to paint over all their scaly bits on both models, leaving their soft underbellies to be done later, as well as some of the details around their mouths. Speaking of soft underbellies, I used Zandri Dust next to paint the inside of their bodies right up to their lips. Next up, I used Screamer Pink to paint the gums in the corner of their mouths. Then followed that up with Pink Horror for a really fiddly bit, their froggy-like tongues. In the next step, I used Balor Brown to paint the webbing between our amphibian's fingers and toes. Although, if you don't want to go out and buy a brand new paint just for this one part of one mini, Zandri Dust again will work just as well. No change from the formula here, I used Rakarth Flesh for those nasty looking claws protruding from their digits. After covering up all of my horrendous mistakes, Philbo is a very messy painter, it's time to paint the gungy substance that seems to be leaking out from the corners of their mouths. For this particularly nasty looking stuff, I used Warboss Green to contrast against the blue of their bodies. The next step, as these guys don't have any visible eyes, is to give them a wash. After crawling around in the ponds and sewers, they definitely need one. I used Drakenhof Nightshade to wash all the scaly blue parts of their main bodies. Now that has brought out the details a lot more and darkened their tone slightly, I used Agrax Earthshade to wash down their claws. With that done, I used Seraphim Sepia next on the webbing in between their fingers and toes, as well as on their underbellies. The final wash that I used was Nuln Oil Gloss. Much the same as Nemi Stage 2's tentacles, I used a very thin layer for the gunge coming out of their mouths, just to give it a glistening and shiny look. And finally, as always, last step was our trademark Astrogranite Technical Paint washed with Nuln Oil and lightly dry brushed with Celestra Grey basing technique. As these guys are up against us in the board game, they get the evil red band around the base to identify them as such. And there you have it. These amphibian assailants are lurking in the murky depths, ready to spring into action and swallow our survivors whole as they search for a way to escape through the city park. I actually found these guys a challenge to do, as there were so many small bits that were close together and not painting over them was quite tough. Not to mention trying not to let one wash run into an area where I wanted to use a completely different one. However, I enjoyed the overall experience and I'm really happy with the way our froggy boys have come out. I tried to capture their look straight out of the video game, and I think for the most part that I succeeded. Once again, thank you all for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Stay safe, survivors.